Preseason rankings are fun, but are they accurate? Hey, welcome into the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by for the best in discussion, debate, and analysis. The coaches poll came out on Monday. Let's check it out. I'm not necessarily going to focus on where I'm going to place these teams. Check out my top 25 that actually makes sense, where I address the 25 best teams in America, not necessarily my projection of the final top 25, because that has to do with the schedule component, but the 25 best teams in the country right now. Let's look at the coaches poll top 25, and then we're going to take the last three coaches polls, preseason 21, 22, 23, and see how the coaches did in forecasting the final top 25 teams. First to the 24 preseason poll, where Georgia is nearly a consensus #1 team over Ohio State as expected. 46 first place votes to the Buckeyes, 7. Oregon at number 3, Texas with the other first place vote, Alabama with its lowest preseason coaches poll ranking since Nick Saban's first national championship in 2009. Ole Miss at 6, Notre Dame at 7, Michigan at 8, Penn State 9, and Florida State 10. And of course, just like the final rankings from last season, with the Pac-12 teams transitioning to the Big Ten and Texas in particular transitioning to the SEC and the Big Ten forecasted to dominate going forward. All right, there we see a Missouri team that had an outstanding season, a breakthrough season under Eli Drinkwitz at 11-2 with a Cotton Bowl victory last year. Now, the teams that stick out to me without going into deep analysis, because again, this is more about how accurate this coaches poll has been in recent years, but Penn State may be a bit too high. 3 new coordinators, big changes on both sides of the football in regards to coaching, of course. And then we've got Mizzou that, despite all the excitement about Brady Cook back at quarterback, weapons all over the place on offense with Luther Burden in particular, big losses on defense and in the trenches for the Mizzou Tigers. The dynamic of Florida State and Clemson, also Miami at 19, at 10, 14 and 19 is going to be interesting at the top of the ACC, because basically Vegas has made this a dead heat between those three. Oklahoma has an extremely difficult schedule at number 16 in the country. Check out our video comparing the Sooners' schedule to Texas. And now we see the Big 12 taking hold here. So if the coaches are accurate, the ACC champion will be Florida State. They'll be the 10th ranked team in the country, but will receive the number 3 seed in the college football playoff. And I know this is not exact because they're not necessarily projecting college football playoff appearances here, but of course the rankings are very close to the actual seedings. And then we look at the top ranked team in the Big 12. Well, that would be Utah at number 13. They would receive that 4th seed. When you total it all up, the SEC with 9 of the top 25, Big 10 at 6, Big 12 at 5, and then the ACC at 4, and Notre Dame represents the independents with 1. That all looks reasonable, doesn't it? But more than not, the coaches miss it. Out of the last 3 preseason polls, 75 teams selected, 25, 25, 25. Guess how many they got right? How many finished in the top 25 out of 75? They should be able to hit, what, 60, 50, at least out of 75? Well, let's see. First, let's go to 2023. In the preseason, Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Bama 3, Ohio State 4, LSU 5. Pretty accurate, especially the top 4. The Buckeyes dropped to number 10 after their bowl loss to Mizzou, but of course Michigan won the national championship. Georgia, considered possibly the best team in college football, of course did not make the playoff. They finished number 3 after routing Florida State. When we take in these rankings, this is the deal. Bottom line is that the coaches got 16 out of 25 in the final ranking. 16 of 25. USC was the highest ranked preseason team at number 6 that fell out of the final rankings at 8-5. The non-ranked team that finished highest in the final poll was Mizzou at number 8. They were not ranked. Arizona was not ranked preseason. They finished number 11. Also finishing in the final rankings that were not ranked, Oklahoma State, Louisville, NC State finished number 21, Iowa, Kansas, SMU, and West Virginia. Not horrible there, considering that those final 5 teams were the final 5 ranked at the bottom of the poll. And again, in addition to USC at number 6, Utah team at number 14 that went 8-5, they finished unranked. TCU, of course, fell completely into oblivion at 5-7, so they are the highest ranked preseason team in 2023 that finished under 500. Not a good showing for the Coaches Poll in 2022. They missed it 15 of 25 times. Only 10 of these teams finished in the final top 25. At the top, Bama was preseason number 1. They finished number 5. They missed the playoff. Ohio State was number 2. They made the playoff, finished number 4. Georgia, of course, the eventual national champion, started the season preseason number 1. Clemson fell from number 4 preseason to number 12. Texas A&M, the highest ranked team in the preseason poll, at number 7 in 2022. Of course, had that early season loss to App State, finished 5-7. They finished unranked. And then we had a slew of unranked teams. From number 9, Oklahoma, who finished 6-7. Baylor finished unranked as well at 6-7. This is how bad these rankings were preseason. Only 3 of the final 17 in the top 25 preseason 2022 finished ranked. That would be Oregon, number 12 preseason, finished 16. USC, preseason 15, Lincoln Riley's first season. Number 13, Texas, barely finished in the top 25 after being preseason 18. TCU, of course, vaulted to a national championship game, finished number 2. They were unranked preseason. Listen to this. Numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the final rankings. Tennessee at 6, Penn State at 7, Washington 8, number 9 Tulane, and Florida State at number 10. So the coaches missed it on 6 of the top 10 teams to start the season. And then you had a slew of other teams, of course, that finished ranked that were not preseason ranked. Kansas State, LSU, Oregon State, Mississippi State, all sorts of teams. Again, 15 of 25 missed by the coaches in 2022. 2021, I'm sure that that showing that we just gave you was an aberration. Not really. They only hit 13 of 25. Bama preseason number 1, lost the national championship game. They finished number 2. Clemson preseason 2, finished 16. Of course, Trevor Lawrence was with them in 2020, and the transition to DJ Uiagalelei not so smooth. Oklahoma preseason number 3, finished number 10. They missed the playoffs in 2021. Ohio State, very close, number 4, number 5. Georgia, the eventual national champion in 2021 with that great defense. They started the season at number 5. The highest ranked preseason team in 2021 that did not finish ranked was Iowa State, with all that veteran lineup led by Brock Purdy. They were preseason number 8. They finished 7-6, not ranked. North Carolina, also in the top 10 preseason at number 9, finished unranked. And again, only 13 of 25 preseason teams finished ranked. The highest non-ranked team preseason 2021, of course, Michigan, not ranked in the preseason, finished number 3. They made the college football playoffs, won the Big Ten. Also, Baylor came out of nowhere to win the Big 12 and finished number 6 in the country. Michigan State, after a 2020 and Mel Tucker's first season, vaulted to number 8 in the country, finished 11-2, won the Peach Bowl. So our trivia question of the 3 preseason polls in 2021, 22, and 23, those 75 teams selected, 25, 25, 25 out of those 3 seasons, how many finished ranked at the conclusion? 39 of 75. That's it. All right. So beware when you buy into the preseason polls. We will have our predictions, of course, leading into the season here very soon here at the Voice of College Football. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.